For those of you tracking the evolving landscape of Greek tourism, have you ever considered how something as, well, deeply rooted and ancient as the olive tree could become a cornerstone of the industry's modern future? Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into the dynamic world of Greek tourism. We're going to focus specifically on a segment that's both emerging and incredibly rich: olive tourism. We've meticulously analyzed a stack of recent articles and news snippets from Travel Daily News, Greece and Cyprus, really sifted through them to bring you the clearest, most compelling insights.
Exactly. Our mission for this deep dive is to truly uncover the vital role olive tourism is playing in Greece's strategy for, well, quality and sustainable development. We'll also examine how this niche fits into the broader trends and challenges facing the nation's travel sector. The aim is, to provide you with insights that truly go beyond the surface level.
Okay, so if you've maybe heard the whispers about olive tourism, but aren't quite sure what it entails, well, prepare to have your idea of a trip to Greece completely redefined. Essentially, it's a form of cultural tourism centered on appreciating and exploring olive trees, olive groves, and of course the production of olive oil itself. It's not just about observation, though.
No, it's much more hands-on.
Right, it's about a multi-sensory experience. This can involve a diverse range of activities, maybe visiting traditional olive mills or fascinating museums, or even participating in an actual olive harvest, or getting hands-on in a cooking class focused entirely on olive oil. Lots of options.
What's truly fascinating here is just how far back this concept of olive-focused travel goes. It's not entirely new.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can trace interest in olive trees as a travel draw all the way back to Roman times. There's even historical evidence found in Pompeii, believe it or not, of people traveling specifically just to observe different olive tree species.
Wow, Roman olive tourists.
Sort of. Then, as we move into the 18th and 19th centuries, these olive-cultivating regions across Europe, they started attracting visitors eager to learn about cultivation and oil production methods. So, while the term olive tourism, as we use it today, is relatively new, it's rapidly gaining popularity. It's driven by a growing global interest in the history, the culture, and the very real health benefits of olive oil.
It's remarkable how this ancient connection is now manifesting in such a modern, global way. This niche, it's definitely seen slow but steady growth, hasn't it?
It has.
With initial examples really rooted in places like Greece and Italy. But what's particularly striking is the recent surge in olive tourists in countries like Spain, Portugal, Morocco, Tunisia. I'd imagine that growth is largely attributed to their long-standing olive production traditions and, well, obviously the increasing global popularity of olive oil, not just as food, but even cosmetics now.
You're absolutely right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, Greece's status as a leading olive oil producer makes olive tourism an increasingly popular avenue for visitors to, deeply experience Greek culture.
It's not just a passing trend then.
Not at all. You'll find numerous olive mills and farms across the country and now welcoming visitors. They can learn about the production process, sample various olive oil varieties. Some even offer accommodation for a truly immersive experience, letting you actually live among the groves for a bit.
That sounds amazing.
And beyond the farms, cultural institutions like olive museums play a crucial role. There are many in Crete, for instance, and a really prominent example is the Museum of Olive and Greek Oil by the Piraeus Bank Group Cultural Foundation. It's in Sparta.
Okay.
This museum showcases olive culture, history, and technology in Greece from prehistoric times all the way up to the early 20th century. Really comprehensive.
And this isn't just organic grassroots growth, is it? It seems there's a real strategic push and significant government backing behind this.
That's a key point, yes.
One of our key sources mentions Fotis Pantopoulos, who has a long history promoting similar initiatives since, 2010, including his earlier influential work on wine tourism.
Right, he's been a proponent for a while.
And more recently, a project focused on olive tourism was actually launched in the USA starting in May 2022. Apparently, in direct response to demand from international tourism stakeholders, the government's endorsement here feels crucial. The Deputy Minister of Tourism, Mrs. Sofia Zakharaki, announced a ministerial decision for Visitable Olive Mills that was under public consultation. She stated, and I think this really highlights their commitment, "We continue dynamically our efforts for the enrichment of quality tourism experiences related to the rich Greek nature and its products, as well as supporting producers who undertake emblematic business actions."
That quote really sums it up. And, this raises an important question. How do we ensure this growth is truly sustainable?
Yeah, that's vital.
What's genuinely insightful here is how sustainability for olive tourism isn't just a buzzword. It's almost existential for this niche. It's built on three core pillars. First, environmental preservation. This means sustainable use of natural resources, reducing pollution and waste, protecting biodiversity. For olive groves, this directly tackles critical issues like water scarcity, a very real threat in the Mediterranean.
Definitely.
And it means protecting those ancient trees, which are themselves part of Greece's biodiversity legacy. Second, respect for local communities is paramount.
How does that work in practice?
Well, it means economic development that directly benefits locals, fostering social inclusion, celebrating cultural diversity. It necessitates involving local communities in planning and developing these initiatives, so they genuinely benefit economically, and the infrastructure is environmentally appropriate. You avoid just, parachuting in.
Right, building it with them.
Exactly. And third, the promotion of cultural heritage. This is achieved by preserving and interpreting historical sites, buildings, landscapes related to olives and olive production, connecting them to the past, present, and future of the region. This makes sustainable not just a choice, but actually a core competitive advantage for this kind of tourism.
Okay, so if you're planning to be an olive tourist, what makes for a truly successful and, unforgettable experience from your perspective as the visitor? I'd imagine high-quality olives and olive oil are paramount,
Right.
especially from producers committed to those sustainable practices we just talked about.
Absolutely fundamental.
And then knowledgeable, passionate guides, people who can really make the history and the process come alive.
Essential.
And finally, I guess, a diverse range of activities and experiences, something to cater to different interests.
Precisely. And for those developing olive tourism, good practices include offering more than just visits. Think tastings, cooking classes, you mentioned those earlier, for a truly holistic experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's also vital to use local products to bolster the local economy, like using local olives for tastings or local olive oil for cooking. Keep it authentic, keep it local.
Makes sense.
And of course, educating visitors with accurate historical and cultural information is crucial through educational programs in museums, specialized tours, promotional materials.
Are there other things like certifications?
Yeah, additional valuable initiatives include certifying extra virgin olive oils, creating dedicated tourist routes like an olive oil trail, and organizing events focused specifically on olives and olive oil. Festivals, harvest celebrations, things like that.
Got it. So that's the visitor side.
Right. And from a business standpoint, for an olive tourism enterprise to truly thrive, several factors are absolutely essential.
Okay, what are they?
While superior olive oil quality is a must, that's the primary draw. An easily accessible location for tourists is also crucial. You can have the best oil, but if no one can get there. Beyond that, having adequate facilities and staff to comfortably accommodate visitors. Plus, a robust marketing strategy. People need to know you exist. And finally, collaboration. Working with other industry businesses is key to creating comprehensive offerings that appeal to a wider audience, turning a single visit into maybe a full itinerary.
Okay, let's try and picture it. Imagine yourself on an olive tourism journey. You might start with a brief introduction to the olive oil production process, perhaps while sipping some local tea or something.
Nice image.
Then you'd move into seeing the machinery in action, maybe even smelling the fresh-pressed olives, that distinct smell. You'd learn about different olive types, how they're crushed to extract the oil, and then how it's stored and bottled.
The whole process.
Exactly. From there, you'd transition to a bright, inviting tasting room. Here you can sample various olive oils, maybe even learn to distinguish those subtle notes, like fruitiness or pepperiness.
That's the fun part.
Definitely. And perhaps you'd discover other products too, like olive oil-based soaps or cosmetics. The culinary aspect is often a highlight as well. Experts demonstrating how to best use olive oil in cooking, suggesting recipes you can take home.
Practical skills, too.
Yeah, the anticipated outcome. You'd leave with a newfound appreciation for olive oil, maybe some enhanced cooking skills, and hopefully a refreshed perspective on healthy eating. It's truly a journey for all your senses, isn't it?
It really is. And, as important as olive tourism is becoming, it's still just one piece of a much larger, incredibly dynamic puzzle.
Right, we need to zoom out a bit.
Let's pull back and look at the larger currents shaping the entire Greek travel sector, drawing from those other news snippets we reviewed, from how they're literally rebuilding infrastructure to how they're handling unforeseen challenges.
Okay, where do we start?
Well, starting with infrastructure and investment, we're seeing some major developments. The Electra Group, a significant player, is actually pivoting towards hospitality and infrastructure. There's also an ongoing tender for YPPA, that's Greece's National Public Property Management Agency, for their infrastructure management services. Big picture stuff.
And ports. I know they're crucial.
Absolutely. Ports like OLPSA, the Piraeus Port Authority, are showing historically high performance, which is a huge indicator of increased maritime traffic, both commercial and tourist. Culturally, the Ministry of Culture is actively restoring Basilica A at Philippi, a major historical site. And 3 new cultural projects in Corfu have been included in the NSRF.
That's the EU funding framework, right?
Yes, the National Strategic Reference Framework. So that signifies substantial investment in preserving and promoting heritage.
So a real foundational investment happening there, it sounds like. And once that infrastructure is in place or being improved, how is Greece strategically promoting itself and maybe adapting its accommodation offerings?
Good question. That leads us to strategic promotion and accommodation. Greece is leveraging significant partnerships, like the EOT, the Greek National Tourism Organization collaborating with Netflix.
How interesting.
Yeah, creating new videos for Greek tourism, really modernizing their outreach. They're also actively promoting Greece as a luxury destination, particularly in the UK market. And we're seeing unique accommodation concepts emerge. One example, though it's actually in Cappadocia, Turkey, is Wyndham's new Cave Hotel. While not in Greece, it highlights a broader regional trend towards offering alternative, immersive travel experiences, things that go beyond just standard hotels, more unique stays.
Right, tapping into that desire for something different. And on the front of sustainable and inclusive tourism, what are some of the key initiatives that stand out from the sources?
Well, we're seeing initiatives like an MTB, a mountain bike race in Leros that explicitly aims to foster sustainable tourism, connecting sports and nature. And there was a workshop in Crete specifically focusing on tourism for people with invisible diseases, demonstrating a real push for inclusivity and accessibility.
That's really important.
It is. There's even a master's program mentioned dedicated to sustainable tourism development with a cultural emphasis, so building expertise in this area. And in popular destinations like Santorini, there seems to be a clear shift towards promoting authentic private tours, trying to consciously avoid some of the pitfalls of mass tourism. It speaks directly to that quality over quantity goal.
Okay, quality and sustainability. And what about visitor safety and overall service quality? Are there specific measures being taken there?
Absolutely. The Ministry of Tourism and IOAS, the Greek Road Safety Institute, are cooperating to enhance road safety specifically within the tourism sector, a crucial, maybe often overlooked aspect of the visitor experience.
It's definitely something you want to feel secure about.
Exactly. And on a different note, kind of an interesting statistic emerged from our sources. Apparently, 9 million potential British tourists don't know how to swim.
9 million, wow.
Yeah, it underscores a significant safety consideration for any destination heavily reliant on beaches and water activities, pushing the industry maybe to think beyond the obvious safety measures.
That's a really surprising number. And finally, we can't really ignore the challenges and industry debates that inevitably arise in such a dynamic sector. What are some of the more pressing ones being discussed?
Well, Cretan tourism bodies, for example, have vocally expressed concerns regarding the migration issue. They made a plea for an immediate solution, which clearly shows the direct impact these broader societal issues can have on tourism confidence and operations.
It's all interconnected.
It really is. There's also an ongoing discussion, a recurring theme, really, about improving the quality of tourists, often linked to per capita spending, to enhance the overall tourism product and its benefits.
A complex debate, I imagine.
Very. And on a more, well, negative note, one snippet highlighted the tourism we do not want. It referred to an incident with tourists stealing a Greek flag. It just shows the spectrum of challenges faced, from high-level strategic policy right down to basic visitor behavior and respect.
That's quite a range of issues. This deep dive truly shows the vibrant and multifaceted nature of Greek tourism, doesn't it?
It really does.
It highlights a clear commitment not just to quality and sustainability, but also to creating unique, deeply culturally rich experiences that, move beyond just the surface level.
It absolutely reiterates that Greece's tourism offering extends far, far beyond its famous sun and sea. It really encompasses this rich tapestry of ancient heritage, modern innovation, and these profound cultural practices like the olive tourism we've spent time exploring today.
So what does this all mean for you, the traveler? Well, maybe it encourages you to consider how seeking out these deep cultural connections, like the ones found through the enduring olive tree, can transform a typical trip, turn it into something truly enriching, educational, and, well, memorable. And it makes you ponder, doesn't it?
Mm.
What other overlooked cultural experiences await discovery in your future travels, wherever they might be?
Exactly. We'd invite you to explore your next travel destination, not just for its visible attractions, its famous landmarks, but for the deeper knowledge and the authentic experiences that truly lie beneath the surface, just waiting to be uncovered.